You're listening to The Hardpoint with Onexpunchxdad and Cody Romes.
Hardpoint, episode number 53, mate. Golly, it's already been a year and a week, Cody. Can you believe it?
No.
No, he can't believe it. No. It's been...
I'm the worst accenter ever.
No. You're great, mate. You're doing wonderful.
No.
Wonderful.
Nah, man, I can't really talk with an accent. That was really bad, huh?
This is offensive on multiple levels. Welcome back to the Hardpoint, episode number 53. My name is Josh. I go by Onexpunchxdad online.
My name's Cody. I go by C-Murd.
C-Murd. C murder. Murder. C murder. Someone's going to die.
Yeah. Dude. It reminds me of the wild thornberries. That's what it's bringing me back to right now.
Oh, smashing.
It's giving thornberries.
It's giving Nigel Thornberry. I can roll with that. All right, I am going to remove the hat because I literally cannot have my headphones on with it. I did shout out to my friends down under, Jess and Alistair, for hooking me up with a it's called why did I just forget what it's called?
It's a sick hat. I need the story behind. I was going to tell me something about that hat.
It is a sick hat. Man, why did I just like crap the bed all of a sudden? It is I've got a little history on the hat. They call it a KFF for short, which is like,
let's ask Apple Intelligence.
Slouch hat. That's what it is. A slouch hat, an Australian slouch hat, sent to me by some dear friends. It's got some
slouch hat.
Slouch hat, brother.
Yeah, where the one side is like flipped up.
Yeah,
that's a killer look.
That's
a killer look.
Uniquely Australian, if you ask me. It looks very, very much what I would hope an Like if I heard an Australian was coming down the road, and he's not wearing a hat like that, I'm gonna be highly
I was gonna say if you're wearing a hat like that, crocodiles hate to see you coming.
Bad day to be a crocodile.
Day to be a croc. Bad day to be a croc.
Bad day to be a croc. All right, kick it off here. We had a little birthday this weekend, didn't we?
It was your birthday?
Okay.
The people's eyebrow.
All right. Smart aleck. Happy birthday. Happy 30th birthday to Cody.
Thank you.
Any new
Yay.
Any new neck pains or back pains to speak of so far?
No. You know, I'm embracing it. I'm embracing it with open arms, trying to be in the best shape ever. Trying to I don't want to fear 30. I don't want to go downhill when I turn 30. I want this to be hitting my prime, all uphill from here. So no new aches. I feel great.
I'm glad.
Now 40, that's a different story.
Oh, I'm deathly afraid of 40.
Tell me about, I want to tell you all about my birthday weekend and tell you a very quick story.
Okay.
But before all that, want to hear your experience turning 30. Because I feel like with guys, I don't know, man, you're saying goodbye to your 20s. Like, I feel like some people, it's a big deal. Other people, they kind of roll right into 30 and don't think twice. How did you feel about turning 30?
I feel like, because my 30th birthday was actually the birthday where I quit smoking cigarettes. So, not completely nicotine free now, but I did quit smoking cigarettes on my 30th birthday. So that I remember distinctly. Was a big win. I said, no, I'm done with those things. And I have been. I've been done with cigarettes. I also remember being like 29 years old and 364 days and feeling hunky-dory. I felt youthful.
Yeah.
Day one of being 30, I felt achy. I really did. And
What?
I don't know. I don't know if it's
What?
just I ate something or what, but I woke up and I was like,
Something does happen when you turn 30.
I did make an adjustment pretty quick, and I just a lot of it was just like my energy levels and stuff. But yeah.
What about just the whole like psychological part? Like, did it bother you at all, or were you just like, it's another birthday? Who gives a shit?
No, I do feel like you always kind of look at that next decade as like, I'm gonna have it all figured out in that decade. Not this one I'm in. Nope.
No.
I will tell you at 36 years old now, don't believe that lie. In my mind, 30-year-olds have all just arrived. Like they're all done growing. They're all adults, and they're going to be that way until they're 50, and then they're old adults. But no, there are days where I wake up and I'm literally terrified to leave my bed.
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. But no, there's just days where I feel like just as like, I don't know, like I don't have all my stuff figured out as I did when I was 26. So, but
I feel like you probably never. That's one. I feel like a theme that I've heard amongst older people than I is you never really feel like you have it figured out. Like you always think that day is going to come where you're older and you're a man and you're full grown and you just got all your ducks in a row and everything's figured out and life is easy. And then you get to that age, whatever age you think that is, and you feel kind of just as clueless. And I know at least me, I figured by now I would feel like I had a lot more put together. And I still feel like a kid sometimes that doesn't know what I'm doing.
I think it's like it's a mix of that, right? Like you never stop growing and learning. Also, there's just too much to learn now. I mean, there's just so much, like so much going on all the time, so much noise, so much visual input, stimulus.
Right.
Like it's hard to feel like you're the master of anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, even at, I don't know, I would imagine at 46, I'm still going to be like, yeah, I really haven't done everything I thought about doing at all.
Do you fear 40? Does that bother you at all? Or are you just like, whatever, bring it?
I think I fear like the slowdown, like, men's hormones and their biology changes as they get older. And it does get harder to, like, I'm feeling it now a little bit, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm still going to the gym on a regular basis. I did make an appointment with my doctor, and I don't want to dime you out here, but I made an appointment just like the one you were telling me about. We'll say some blood work, right? I made an appointment to get that done today, for the exact same reason. So,
hell yeah.
But
when are you going? When is it?
I need to check my calendar. I think it's Friday, actually.
Okay, very good. I'm glad you did that.
Yeah, and again, not to put your HIPAA medical stuff on blast.
Yeah, man.
But
the hell.
But yeah. Like I am getting to that age where I do kind of want to consult more with my doctor so that I can understand things like cholesterol and stuff like that.
Blood pressure.
Yeah. What do I got pumping through the system at any given moment? You know what I mean? How are we looking? So
that is something. So when I went and got those tests done recently, they actually asked me, when was your last physical? And I kind of went silent. Eyes went straight up in the air, head tilted back. I was like, I don't know. I actually have no idea. It's probably over 10 years ago.
I was going to say, you probably had to do one because I know you golfed in high school. Did you have to do a physical for that?
Probably. I'm thinking grade school was like the last time I had an actual physical.
Yeah.
And I was telling my wife, I was like, I think I would like to go get a physical.
Yeah.
Just have somebody shine that light in my ears, tell me to go, just kind of check me out, am I good?
Yeah.
You see anything going wrong here?
I'm guessing you haven't had a full tilt drop your drawers physical in your life.
Is that where they like cup and tell you to cough? Yeah, I had one of those like in middle school or something.
Oh, you did?
Playing sports, I'm pretty sure, in middle school.
Yeah.
I did it like one time in my life. Yeah, they said turn your head and cough. And I
Yeah.
remember thinking that very weird.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah. I've had to do that a couple of times for my line of
Probably
work.
in the military for sure, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. It never gets less awkward. But yeah.
Okay, so you've probably had them on a semi-regular basis. Just
I've
being
had
in the
well,
military.
I've had two. I had one when I came in, and I had one about 7 or 8 years later when I crossed over and became a warrant officer.
Okay.
But
Well, if you're a man, don't be ashamed to go get checked out.
you go get you. You need to go get a physical.
I know.
Who are you talking to? You don't be afraid. No.
You
But
need to do that.
to circle back to your question, I'm not afraid of it, but I'm definitely thinking about how I'm living a little bit, and I think what I'm putting in my body and how I'm sleeping and stuff like that, and looking to clean up a little bit so that I can have a healthy, hearty 40 through 49.
And look 40 when you're 40 and not look 55. That's something else that the older I get is just, I've never cared about really like looking a certain age or like my skin or this or that. But the older you get, I have decided like, I don't want to be the guy who's constantly thought of as 10 or 15 years older than he actually is. I would like to look my age.
I think you look great, man. I think you really
thank
you've
you.
maintained a very youthful appearance moving into your 30s. I don't have any hair except for my eyebrows, so that kind of helps. And my face isn't totally wrinkled.
For a little bit, you didn't even have those.
Yeah, that's true. That's a story for another time, kids. I did lose my eyebrows at one point, and rightfully so. I didn't deserve to have them for a few weeks.
What are you
So-
going to do when your oldest comes to you one day with no eyebrows and says, Dad, I just did
fucked
something
up.
bad.
Yeah. Well, hop in, buckle up, and get ready for a story because
Man,
I've been there.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I want to tell you about my birthday stuff. I wanted to give you I want you to jump in a time machine with me and go back 363 days approximately.
Very well.
All the way back to the day of episode number 1 and 2.
Yeah. Was that your birthday when we did that?
Yes.
Oh my
It was.
Lord.
Take a little journey with me because I have this app, like this journaling app, and I journal every single day of just like kind of what I did, thoughts, whatever. And so every day I get a like on this day last year or the year before, whatever. And so I'm always getting these little nuggets of stuff that happened that I forgot about. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot all that happened. Do you remember the chaotic first day that we had trying to film this podcast?
I do. Not to steal your thunder or anything, but it was a marathon of a day. And I think honestly, like now that we've done so many of these, like I think if I could go back and just put a hand on both of our shoulders and be like, it's not that much, man. It's not that much. You can do more with less. Just remain calm.
Yes.
And also maybe don't start drinking at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, that would help. Here's the first part of my entry. It says the plan, gym, breakfast, episode 1, film promos and skits, relax. HLC comes over for episode 2. Enter a couple times. Reality.
I was gonna say,
Woke up,
none of this happened the way that it's being called out.
drove all the way to the gym, realized I forgot my ID.
I forgot about that.
What an idiot. Felt terrible. We left your wife and kids at the Y. We drove all the way back to your house to get my ID. We didn't bring the key. We can't get in your house.
Nope.
So we drive all the way back to the Y,
Yeah.
get the key from your wife,
Yeah.
drive all the way back to your house for a second time, go in, get my ID, and then go work out on the base gym. We didn't make it back to the Y for a third time.
Yep.
Went home. It says no time for breakfast tacos. We were going to make breakfast tacos. Didn't have time for those. We ate plain chicken. Nothing wrong with that, but not quite as good as breakfast tacos. Showered, got ready. Josh went to the store, then did the same. We're running behind at this point, like 1:30, and we're nowhere near starting. Ethan's coming over at 6. We aim to start at 2:30, and I'm getting nervous in all capital letters. It says at that point, we crank some Spite and Every Time I Die in his office, drank some Double Jim Beams to get hyped, both feeling nervous. La-di-da-di-da. I just forgot about the whole first half of that day. Like forgetting my ID, back and forth to the gym, forgetting the key, running behind, getting nervous tummy, no time for food. I don't know if you remember also, but we didn't realize our cameras only recorded up to 30 minutes. So we had both the cameras facing us, and then about halfway through the episode, we noticed it's not recording anymore. And then on my camera, we couldn't find the video, so we thought we lost the whole thing. I mean, that whole first day was bananas.
Look at us now.
Look at us now.
Look at us now, baby.
We're just a well-oiled machine today.
It was. I had a fun day, but I remember laying on my couch after all the dust had settled from that first day of the Hardpoint, and thinking, "My God, I am wiped." And I don't feel like I did as much as should be required for me to be wiped like I was. Right. But I was well and truly smackered.
Yeah. After Ethan left, we played some games. I think we all played Halo with your kids. And then I just had the note at the very end. I was like, at the end of the day, me and Josh had nothing left in the tank.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
No, we were completely sapped. But we did what we came to do. We didn't do it on schedule. But we got her done. We got it licked.
We got it done. I just thought that was a fun kind of journey back in time. Going back to that day and just kind of reliving all that stuff was really interesting. Whoa. Really interesting to me.
It is, man. And not to mention all the like crazy like hiccups and terrible moments we had like in between now and then, like episodes getting deleted and audio getting deleted and there was a lot. But I think all told, if you look at like our posting schedule, I think we had one episode, again, my fault. We had one episode go up late on the day that it was supposed to get posted because the upload to YouTube got disrupted.
Right.
So the audio offering even made it on time, but that's the only time we ever like quote let the schedule slip at all, and it wasn't even it was like a few hours past when we normally post. Other than that, every single Wednesday for the past year, standing tall, looking good, we're Cody and Josh for the Hardpoint.
Yep. We're not here to let you down. That was a particularly busy few days for me because I left that Sunday, and then that Monday, if you'll remember, I went to Vegas and back in one day.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. It was a work trip, right?
Yeah, we went to the Pool and Spa Expo in Vegas.
Dude, didn't you get sick when you came back from all that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually, a few days later, in one of my journal entries is like, I feel like dog shit. I think I got COVID from traveling or something. I was sick as hell for like 2 or 3 days after that.
The travel probably played a role, but I have to believe that you were in a weakened like physical state after the weekend we had, the day we had trying to get the Hardpoint off the ground, and then rolling right into a flight to Vegas and back within the same 18-hour period, probably. Yeah, you were not set up for success there.
I don't think that was a very productive week, the rest of the week.
Well, we made it, man. We made it, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of us both.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I'm proud too. Fun story, though.
Fun story. All right. Birthday festivities. I got a text from you I think it was the day of your birthday. So maybe this was a night prior bash, but it sounds like you had a good time.
I did have a good time. Saturday, so my birthday was on Sunday. Right. Saturday, the 9th, it was me and three other couples, kind of our friend group, our closest friends, besides you,
Right.
couldn't be there, but we all went to the TCU football game, which is really cool because lately I've been, as I've mentioned on here a couple times, really into college football. And my brother-in-law actually went to TCU, and it's probably the biggest school in the Metroplex. It's a really, really big university.
Yeah.
And I've never been to like a proper college football game. We went to the WT, in Amarillo, WT Buffs or whatever. That's like D3. It's not a proper college football experience.
Right.
And it was a night game out in Fort Worth, and it was awesome. We went out there, bar hopped a little bit, watched the game, went out to the bars afterwards. I mean, it was a great time. And having somebody that actually went there, kind of able to show us the ropes, show us around the campus, show us the cool spots, show us Frog Alley, something called Frog Alley. It was great. Not actual frogs.
Yeah, I figured. Horned frogs, right?
Yeah, there you go.
The TCU Horned Frogs.
TCU Horned Frogs. They kicked ass. They won big time, 30-something to hardly anything. I don't hardly drink at all. I will go weeks without trying, without drinking. It's not part of my regular routine. And I kind of put the throttle down on Saturday night. And boy, I was feeling it on Sunday. We stayed up till about 1 a.m. And I woke up at 8 a.m.
Bright and early.
I know. I didn't mean to. Definitely felt like shit. The only downside to the entire thing is when you celebrate like the night before your birthday, you kind of wake up on your birthday just feeling like shit. Like your actual birthday is kind of spent recovering and not feeling very great. So that was the only whatever. But the celebration was Saturday night. Sunday we went shopping, went and ate, and then just kind of hung out, watched football and everything like that. So the weekend was a 10 out of 10. It couldn't have been more fun. The only thing I would have changed, I had this vision of on my 30th birthday going and getting just a crusher workout, being in the gym with one of the biggest pumps I've ever had, looking in the mirror and being like, yeah. 30 looks good on you.
Starting a new decade, right?
Exactly. That's what I envisioned bringing this decade in with. And the reality, much less like the day of starting the hard point, you envision it looking like this. Reality is it looks like this. I was kind of curled up on the couch most of the day.
I was gonna say, I thought your birthday treat was gonna be that the Cowboys didn't completely shit the bed, but as with Jerry Jones, they completely, once again, just could not close, could not even come close.
I renounced my fandom. It's too embarrassing.
Fandom withdrawn, huh?
Yeah, it's too embarrassing.
I was gonna say, man, I was watching the Houston Texans. They did lose against the Lions.
Yes.
But I will say they didn't lose like the Cowboys lose. Like they put up a fight. They did good, they played a good game, but there is something about watching the Cowboys play, even as just a casual football fan, that I'm like, I just feel really sorry for them, honestly.
Dude, I was texting my dad. I was like, who is paying to go to this game? The season is in the toilet. The backup quarterback is playing, and you know that.
Yeah. Who
is paying to go? How is that stadium full? Who's there? Who's buying those tickets?
That's this about to be our year, fam crowd.
Oh, dude, get real. There's no way.
Proof is in the pudding. They suck real bad.
So here it is. I denounced my fandom. I'm no longer emotionally invested in sports. I will watch for entertainment. I will watch for fun, but it will have no bearing on the rest of my day. Who wins or loses? I don't care. I don't care.
It's time. It's time, Cody, for you to stop being emotionally invested in sports, and time to get financially invested, baby. It's time to start gambling. It's time to start putting your money where your mouth is.
Been there, done that. It's too hard.
Daddy needs a new pair of shorts. Come on, Dak. Come on, Dak. No, don't bet your shorts on Dak.
He's not even playing. He's out for the season.
Did he get hurt or did he just leave?
No, he got hurt. His hamstring tore from his bone.
Well, ouch. That
He's a,
that's rough.
yeah, feels like that would hurt,
Yeah. Anything detached from the bone in parentheses.
dude.
Yeah.
Do injuries bother you? Like if a compound fracture, watching it, are you somebody who likes to see that, or are you like, does it stick with you the rest of the day?
So my mom loves that shit. She loves watching a leg fold in half where it's not supposed to. She loves pain and misery. No, I specifically avoid those videos. Like they'll pop up on my reels or whatever sometimes, and I know this dude's calf is about to collapse and it's gonna be flopping, and I will immediately scroll away. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, no, I can't either. I heard one of the best and most hilarious bet payoffs that I ever heard was, and this can be for anything, fantasy football, a contest, you name it. But whoever loses said contest has to watch like a 20-minute compilation video of nothing but compound fractures.
I'm bringing my A game to that challenge because I'm not losing that. Ain't no way. I ain't watching.
I actually feel like that would scar me for life. I feel like I would have like some things I need to work through.
Yeah.
After watching that,
you would not be the same man after you finished it. The worst ones for me, like the broken, like the compound fracture, like the limb folds in half, like those are hard to watch. The one that I watched one time, and I promise I will never watch again on purpose, was a hockey match. I don't know what team, I don't know the dude's name, but a dude got his jugular vein sliced by a ice skate.
Whoa.
On air, on live TV, and it is literally projectile bleeding all over the place, and this dude is grasping his throat trying to stop the bleeding. It is upsetting to see.
Sounds horrifying.
I do not recommend it. Yeah. Trigger warning.
You sure it wasn't Blades of Glory?
It was not. No, this is a legit hockey match. This is real. So I don't know what happened, if some dude like fell so hard that his skates were flying around in the air, but this dude got his freaking jugular sliced by an ice skate and was just bleeding profusely in a way that you don't want to see. I don't want to see that shit. The other one, I will say, this one's not as bad because you don't really get a good look at it. But there's a basketball player who I think he got fouled. I can't remember. This was a little more recently. He got fouled. The dude hit him in the eye, and his eyeball popped out. Like,
what?
Came out of his eye socket, and they were able to pop it back in. But it's still like the eyeball came in front of the eyelids. And they were able to fix it, thankfully, but...
I feel like that's one of those things where it happens, and then the medical person's like, they didn't train me on what to do here. This was not part of the course. And everybody's like...
Can you imagine that dude gets up, one eye is just fucking huge. He's like, how bad is it?
You're flipping through the handbook. You're like, I don't fucking see this in there. I don't know what to do.
There's not a chapter on this.
No, that sounds terrible. Speaking of the compound fractures, it kind of depends, I've noticed, on what network is carrying the game. It depends on how much they show you. Yeah. For instance, there was one on Fox recently where they came back from break and they're like, there's a very gruesome injury. We're not going to show it. And of course, it floated around social media. You could go find it, but they didn't show it.
Yeah.
One of these games this past weekend on Sunday, I think, it was CBS. Yeah. And this guy, his shin, like where his shin is, it's a 90-degree angle. And basically halfway up his shin is just stuck in the turf. And then from the shin down is laying on the ground like this, but his, foot or the rest of his leg is straight up in the air. They not only showed it in slow motion several times over, but then they showed a still shot and left it there for a good 7 seconds of the shin bone just stuck in the turf in this guy's leg at a 90-degree angle and just kind of left it there on the TV.
Just let it simmer for a little bit.
Let it hang. And I'm like, what? I can't believe you're allowed to
Yeah.
show that.
What is it? That stupid movie, The Blind Side, opens with a scene of, man, what was that? I don't know. It had to have been back in the 80s, but it's one of those scenes, like a football player, like an NFL team, NFL football player crushing. I have no idea what kind of context it gives for this, like, black urban kid getting adopted by a white family to play football, but it's Sandra Bullock. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
She tees up this whole movie with this huge defensive end or linebacker, I can't remember, crippling this quarterback for life. And I guess that's The Blind Side. But I don't know, like, it was, if you watch that video of that dude getting injured, it's one of those, like, watch it once.
I may have blocked that part. I've seen that movie. I don't remember that, but
no, that's definitely bleach your eyeballs material. Anyway, happy birthday. Let's pivot.
Next.
Let's pivot. What are you crushing, Cody? Happy birthday. You get to go first.
Thank you. I don't have any good crushing. Yellowstone. I know you're not into this show. Yellowstone, season 5, part 2, resumed on Sunday. I think it's been off for like 2 years. It was one of these shows affected by the writer strike.
Right. Well, and there's a lot of drama with Costner leaving the show too, right?
Yeah. His character was still very much like charactering when the season ended last time.
Huh.
And then they couldn't come to an agreement, so he's just
left the show.
Yeah. So then they have to bake that into the story somehow. So it's very unnatural. He was the main character of this show.
Yeah.
And then he's just gone.
Yeah.
And so they have to, like, whatever. I mean, you don't watch this, do you?
No, I do.
Okay. Spoiler if you're watching Yellowstone. Basically the opening scene is him. It's a staged suicide. His son hires a hitman to kill him, and they stage it as a suicide. Kevin Costner, opening scene of this, like, shows blew his brains out.
Okay. I'm not gonna watch the show ever now.
No, I know. Well, how weird is that though? Like,
That's
the main character of a show is just like gone.
Do you feel like obviously, like, Costner's pretty iconic, right? It's hard to just you don't necessarily just swap them out. Do you think they could have recast him? Do you think anyone else could have played this surly old ranch owner?
No, because the series is 95% over. I think it would have been very weird.
Yeah.
If for the very last home stretch, it's not Costner, So
it does raise an important question. What do they do?
Right.
In that situation.
I don't have a better answer. This is a very unique situation of a main character of a show not coming back in real life, and therefore they have to write him off somehow. And I don't know how you do that other than you have to kill him off. You have to. But it's just it's still very weird.
He can't go to Disneyland.
They could always just kind of have him, like, every scene that he's in just very, like, shadowy, and, like, it's somebody voicing Costner, but you never really see him. Or his back's always to the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Or he's always on the other side of a fence, You
Yeah.
just can't quite see his face.
So Yellowstone, huh? Trepidatious about how it's going to end?
Yeah. At the height of that show, it was so good. So good. And like many shows, it probably could have ended 2 seasons ago.
Petered out a little bit.
A little bit. That's all I got, though. I will quick mention that somebody last week mentioned Slaughter to Prevail's new album. It's actually an EP. Their first song, Behelit, banging, man.
Yeah?
Banging. Yes.
I'm going to get on that.
The one I sent to you, but my text turned green, so maybe you didn't get it. It's a good gym banger. It's actually got, like, he sings in it kind of, which is different. And then it's got some synthy stuff, like the opening kind of when the riff drops, like the kind of choir synthy stuff in the background. It's epic, dude. It's really, really good. You should listen to it.
Okay. All right. Slaughter to
Yeah.
Prevail. Still out there cooking.
Yeah.
It's
So
good to
anyways,
know.
that's really all I'm crushing at the moment.
At the moment.
At the moment.
It's good crushes.
What art thou, crush?
You know, nothing new. I will say, still on Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
Still having a good time with that. Really nothing new to report. Playing a little more zombies here and there. Kind of finding out some of the tricks. It is fun. It's the first zombies that I've ever actively kind of like thinking about when I'm not playing it. So enjoying that. And then the multiplayer is pretty good. Again, back to we talked for a couple weeks about the weapon selection. Not great. I did finally find, so the TikTok brigade is out kind of like explaining a lot of the like settings, manipulation and stuff like that can help you kind of shoot and move a little bit more easily in the game and kind of trick your eyes and trick the, how you use the controller to.
It's like in the settings you're talking about?
Yeah, so there's a couple things I
Okay.
did. The first thing I did was change my crosshair. So you can change your crosshair from a crosshair that kind of, you know how like when you move, it kind of like expands and shrinks based on your kind of expected shot group size, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
You can do away with that, and you can just make it a dot. And you can make that dot.
Okay.
You can make that dot as big or as small as you want to. That's cool. And you can change the color of that dot. And you can choose a color that does not occur a lot in the game, like cyan. And you have a permanently visible, never changes its shape, center aim point. I did that immediately, game changer. 100%.
Really?
Yeah. I have a TikTok I can send you. I saved it. That kind of explains how to do all that. Because you do, again, better than it in years past, but still some UI weirdness that's kind of like, why I'm in a menu within a menu within a menu here.
Right.
Don't fully understand that. So I did that, and then I also just some basic kind of movement and auto aim and kind of min-max stuff for how you look left and right, up and down. There's some adjustments you can make there that make it a little bit easier to traverse with the target in this game. One thing I've realized is if you are aiming and moving, or shooting and moving, or you're shooting at something that is moving, or both, Black Ops 6 has kind of a weird, I was constantly like overshooting and having to come back and dial in on the guy, and a lot of times I was losing that shootout. I changed these things, and that coupled with the center aim point, I was absolutely having a much better time.
That's fascinating. Those controller settings go so deep, and I've never taken the time to kind of mess with them. But dude, you can tweak. It seems like a seemingly unlimited amount of options there.
It really is, and there's a lot of, even if you're just a console controller player, there's a lot of nuance to it in a way that it's not necessarily like a lot of people are like, oh, just raise your sensitivity. That has never worked for me. I think more importantly than that is just being able to hold the target while you're on the move and keep on hitting it. And at that point, you're only held back by the quickness that you can pull the trigger. So, but yeah, there's a lot of nuance to it, and it's crazy the amount of depth that they give to this to kind of not, and it doesn't feel like cheating. It's not like a aimbot or anything, and I still got outgunned enough that I realized that it's not perfect, but it definitely feels more fluid, and it's got me kind of wondering if I can get in there and take it even further and find my sweet spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know the difference between like the S curve or the linear kind of when it comes to the aiming? There's different like settings you can do.
Yeah, I kind of just did what the videos told me to do, and honestly I couldn't regurgitate it because I was just like, step 1, all right, step 2, all right. In fact, I don't know what half the shit that I did when I was doing it did, but it worked really well. So
have to send me that video. I'll
yeah.
do the same.
I might see if I can link those in the description for this video as well, in case
Yeah.
the fellow COD players want to take a swack at it. But yeah, still playing Black Ops 6. Not watching a lot of TV. Have not watched a lot of movies lately. Kind of fell off Dave the Diver a little bit, but I am planning on going back to that for sure. Did play a little Death Stranding. I think I talked about playing some Death Stranding on maybe last week's episode.
We need to put a pin in that.
Death Stranding?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, putting a pin in that. In that case, that's pretty much it, man. Yeah, I'm light crushings as well this week, so which is fine.
Well, that's okay. Let's go back to Death Stranding. Did you see they put it on Xbox?
I did, yeah. So that's, and they also, what's also weird about that is they own the IP now. So not only is Death Stranding Director's Cut on Xbox, but they own it, which to me, I haven't checked, sounds like it is probably bound for Game Pass at some point. But even within that, I think that's good news. I am kind of pissed because I bought it on PC like a week before that happened, which I'm fine with because it looks really great. But I could have just gotten it on console. I don't know. It really it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other to me at this point. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's very vibey. It can be frustrating. I found myself last night. I was playing for a little bit and I actually backed out because I did find myself in kind of a repetitive. This is a game, I'll tell you, if it's something that you've looked at and thought, I might want to try that, I will tell you that you do not get a gun of any sort for the first 6 or 7 hours of gameplay. Like, it is very much a lot of traversal and hiding and sneaking and listening to a lot of very, very strange dialogue. For me, that's kind of my jam. I love Kojima. I'm there for whatever journey he's going to try to take me on.
Yeah.
However, if you're looking to go just get in a fight, you're going to be in for a bit of a wait.
I knew it wasn't necessarily combat driven. It was more traversal driven. I'm interested. The barrier to entry was always a different console, and that was way too high for me. But if it's ever on Game Pass or something, it seems like one of those games that you can just kind of like vibe out to. You can just lounge out, relax, and just spend a couple hours in that world.
Yes, very much. And I will tell you, if you are curious about the vibe, and I might have recommended this to you years ago because I've been jamming this since the game came out back in 2019, I think. The soundtrack to this game is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. There is a band, Low Roar does 5 or 6 songs alone on the soundtrack, a lot of which that you hear right at the jump of the game. My God, dude, it is such a vibe. And when you pair that with just kind of like the sweeping landscapes and just kind of this like dystopian world and this weird kind of tech and weird like the baby and all that stuff, like all this weird stuff, it's a vibe. So the soundtrack to Death Stranding, highly recommend that.
Hell yeah. Check it out.
Absolutely.
Well, from here, I figured I got 2 news topics we can hit, or we can do write-ins.
Let's hit a news topic. See how the first one hits us.
Okay.
I'm curious what you've brought for me.
One, and it very, very possible that you've already seen this one. It's on the topic of GTA 6.
Oh.
Have you seen when the new trailer might be coming and what is making people guess this particular date?
No and no.
Okay.
I missed that.
The proposed date of the fans is November 22nd, 2024, in a mere 10 days.
That's coming up.
10 days.
That's coming up.
Now, the reason that they think so, and I guess So the first trailer, there was a screenshot that came out of the moon. There was the moon in the screenshot. And supposedly, if you match that moon with whatever type of moon it is, it gives you something that led to the date that the first trailer dropped. Follow me?
Yeah. Yes.
So there's screenshot, there's a moon. Somebody's like, oh, here, let me just.
I'm going to be straight with you, man, right out of the gate. Even if this was correct at one point, I feel like just to be a dick, Rockstar's going to swap it out on us. Just because this sounds pretty thin.
Because it's too predictable. Here's what it is. Okay, it was the moon in this picture, and when that moon occurred in real life is when this trailer dropped. Because, you can tell, like, when certain moons are going to be a certain moon.
Yeah.
So, in this screenshot, oh, look at that moon. That moon's going to happen on December 1st. And December 1st is when the trailer dropped.
Damn.
So we have a new moon now, and this new moon is happening November 22nd. So people think that the new trailer is going to drop on November 22nd.
So did Rockstar post a picture of a moon, or are people just literally trying to?
No, Rockstar posted a screenshot with a moon in it.
Oh.
Like in the background.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. So Rockstar post, and I think it was more like about GTA Online or something. It was a screenshot of GTA Online, but in the sky there's a moon, and that moon occurred on, eventually occurred on the day that the trailer ended up actually dropping. So now we have a new screenshot with a new moon, and that moon in real life is happening on November 22nd. So people are guessing, since it was correct the first time, that this time around it may also be correct, and that's when we can expect trailer numero dos.
I'm curious, man. I'm curious to see.
Don't sense you're buying it very much.
I feel like these corporations, like especially one like this, is doing everything they can to not be predictable at this point in the game. Like, no one can really anticipate what Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive are going to do with this IP at this point. And that makes me cautiously optimistic about the game as a whole. I have no doubt that a lot of what's going to be in that game initially is actually going to feel like such a drastic departure from typical GTA.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We build, we grow. But yeah, in regards to this, I have a feeling that the trailer's either going to leak, which seems to be a trend, or they're going to
trolling us.
They're going to troll us, and they're going to put it out the day before or 2 days after or something. I don't know.
Okay, I can see that.
I'm conditioned to doubt the benevolent nature of this company, because they are.
No, I think that makes sense.
Filthy.
You realize last year, before that trailer dropped, when we knew actually when it was dropping, that we were guessing that it was going to be pretty much now, like these holidays that we're currently in.
We did. I did remember that. I think I had a very like a very optimistic, Christmas 2024 release date. Not even close. I was off by about a year, it sounds like, as a matter of fact.
And then second one, this one's a little bit older of a story, but it is adjacent to us, or at least at one time was. Did you see that members of As I Lay Dying left the band, and that band has now broken up once again because of sketchy things going on inside the band?
So the story I got, and I don't have anything open in front of me, but the band didn't break up, but one by one, all the members left the band until it was just Tim Lambesis. And I believe I did see a follow-on article that said he's gonna keep being As I Lay Dying, which I hate that. Not gonna.
Well, he's just gonna hire new guns and continue on.
I guess, I don't know, and I don't know how valid that is. What I will say, and I'm not trying to judge the guy. I believe in it. I love a good redemption arc. I really do. This dude seems to have some problems, and I don't know if him being in the public eye is really in his or anyone's best interest at this point.
Right.
Nothing but love, Tim, but this feels like a sign that you need to do something else.
If you had this big, giant redemption comeback story, your old band gets back together, you come back from the impossible, you got the band back together, and they, like you said, one at a time, disappear.
Yeah,
walk away from you.
Yeah.
That does feel telling.
Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't like a mass quit. Like they didn't all quit at once. It was just like, oh, the bass player quit. The drummer quit. The other guitar player quit. Like they literally just one by one. I don't know if it was just like as people were quitting, it got more and more apparent that like, oh, this is actually over. But
Falling apart. Yeah. I
Um,
saw a quote of one of the guys. It was just like, I can't be a part of what's going on in that band.
yeah.
I'm paraphrasing, but something along the lines of that, which just makes me, it blows me away. Maybe I guess that guy just really is, I don't know. No hate on Tim Lambesis.
No hate for Tim Lambesis. No hate for Azalea Dang. Like they said, they got a great catalog, a lot of great songs. But I said goodbye to that band many years ago, and it was not necessarily when he did all the stuff that got him stuck in jail for a while, but when they came back, I just wasn't going to be there for that. So, yeah.
I thought that was interesting at the very least. That I don't know. It's just fascinating story.
Yeah, end of an era, but I don't know. I would argue the era has kind of been over for quite a few of us for some time, but
that was one of those bands like way back that you introduced me to. Way back.
oh, absolutely, man. I remember being 15 riding around in my buddy's car, and he had one of those tape deck things that you plug into like a Walkman or a Discman CD player, and that was how we listened to CDs in his old car. But yeah, one of the first things he put on was As They Lay Dying.
Nothing left. No,
it was 94 hours.
Oh, okay, that's actually a heater too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was their first album, right? It was like the orange one with the fire.
It was the first one I think that they really like caught fire with.
Yeah.
But yeah. Man, hate to see it. All right, let's hit some write-ins.
Okay. You want to talk politics?
Oh boy. Not really.
No, that's fine. Edward Palu was just checking on us. He says it looks tense over there from Australia. Asked if we're okay. We're okay.
We're fine. We're fine every time. That's what people forget. Is it doesn't matter how good or bad the president is. We're okay. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. It's bad. It's going to be bad for some people. It's going to be great for some people. That would have been true, but maybe flipped if Kamala Harris had won. I truly could not be less invested. And I know that sounds... I don't want to put my political beliefs out there, but I will tell you this. None of those people are very trustworthy to me. Not a one of them. And that's all I'll say.
Leave it at that. We are okay, though. Thank you for asking.
We're alive.
Everything's cool.
We're alive.
Everything's fine. I swear to God, Brad Rules has asked this before. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Now that it's been a year, which fan would you interview and why me?
I don't know. Brad Rules, you definitely you're in the top 3 for sure, buddy. I gotta say, man, Brave Athos be posing questions in the most bizarre and interesting way. But Edward,
I feel bad. He asked us to play Call of Duty, and we never kind of really got back to him. We need to set that up.
It's been a busy couple of weeks, man. I'm sure he'll understand. But we'll make something happen, man. I don't know. All y'all are great, man. It'd be cool to just go one by one, get y'all all in here. As long as you're cool.
As long as you're cool. If you pass the vibe test.
Don't be lame.
Yeah. Rule number one. Rule number one. Ewolf, what's your favorite open world single player game? Mine's got to be Just Cause 3. I never played any of the Just Causes. Single player open world game. Yours is Skyrim or Zelda.
No and no, actually. As far as single player open world games, I actually, like, when we started the show, I had to, like, check myself because I was bringing it up every episode. I think I was coming fresh off the heels of a Red Dead 2 playthrough. That game is the most complete, real video game world that you can inhabit, in my opinion.
Yep.
It is 6 years old, as a matter of fact.
18? Yeah. Wow.
It is. I wish every open world game had the movement, environment, NPC behavior, all that Red Dead 2. I feel like that is one of the things that does make me excited for GTA 6. I hope they don't abandon a lot of that. I hope they leave that stuff in. I know that stuff takes a long time to make and implement in a video game. Understood. But yeah, far and away, Red Dead 2. Not even close.
No, I'm the same. Not only is it my favorite open world single player game, it's my favorite game of all time, ever, any category. Numero uno. I've spent more time playing it. I think it's just hands down.
It's a banger.
Hands down.
And I will say, maybe this doesn't answer the question correctly, but the online component I dumped hundreds of hours into as well. And I know that's not a single player experience, but it is essentially the same world with other people in it. Doesn't feel quite as lived in. I know Cody kind of bounced off of it because there is an element of it that is just loses a little bit of its sheen. The towns don't feel as lively. Things kind of behave a little differently in the online offering, but for the large part, it's still a lot of fun for me.
Yes. Last one. We'll finish up here. Brave Athos. As the holidays approach, who would you pick to put on the Mount Rushmore of holiday movie, TV show, cartoons, etc. characters?
Oh.
Characters.
A Mount Rushmore.
Buddy the Elf has to be number one.
I don't know if he's number one, but he's up there. You know, he's up there, maybe in old Teddy Roosevelt's spot.
The Christmas Vacation uncle.
Buddy the Elf, yeah. Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation. I'm gonna go Jim Carrey Grinch. I don't know how crazy you are. About that,
yes.
But I'm gonna I'm gonna go Jim Carrey Grinch for me.
Can't forget that.
And
Tim Allen Santa Claus.
Tim Allen Santa Claus. It's a very 90s kid, Mount Rushmore, but I feel like it still holds up. Like, those are all movies that my family and I watch around Christmas time. I would say
Santa Claus is so good.
For me, my honorable mention, like the one that Cody's either going to be like, what are you talking about? Or no, is going to be Turbo Man. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Turbo Man from Jingle All the Way. I love that movie. A lot of people hate on it, but it is absolute comedy gold. And I love hearing Arnold say, "Merry Christmas, Jamie," to his son. I don't know why.
I would never hate on anything Arnie does or did.
Big Arnie fan here.
Big Arnie.
Yeah. You got an honorable mention? You got like a sleeper Christmas movie that maybe not everyone's tracking? He's thinking. He's really digging deep. Oh, man. Maybe not. If the answer's no.
I don't think I was really trying to come up with something there.
I'm trying to think. I don't really seek out Christmas movies.
The damn it. Try not to be offensive here.
Alan.
The little man in Elf.
Wait. The Little Man?
Peter Dinklage and Elf.
Oh. Oh, you know what? Another good one. The one I don't even know if this movie may not have even come out at Christmas. But did you ever see Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Definitely not on the Rushmore, but he passed out drunk at the summit of this Mount Rushmore, pissing off the edge or something. But yeah, that's a fun off the wall Christmas movie.
That's a good one. That one's funny.
Not for family, but
No.
hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Episode 53. Can't believe it. Looking good. We're sounding good. We'll be back next week.
Feeling good.
Moving into the Thanksgiving season. Probably going to be talking about pumpkin pie, green bean casserole, stuffing.
How spare Thanksgiving food is.
Is that a new word for mid? Spare?
Spare.
Spare, bro.
Spare.
Like
Spare.
it's just like
Yeah. If it's spare, it's like,
it's mid.
yeah, it's mid.
Yeah.
Mid or lower. Maybe even on like a notch lower than mid.
Mid or less.
Yes.
Mid or mid minus. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's way better thing. Like if you tell me for Thanksgiving you're just gonna order Chinese, I'm going to your house. I'd much rather just eat some fried rice
Yeah.
than
Yes.
some dry ass turkey.
Or ham. It's not good. It's the worst meats all piled onto one day.
I forgot you don't like ham.
It's not good.
Not a ham.
It's
guy.
weird.
Would you rather eat
Nah.
turkey or ham? I feel like
Probably turkey. At least it's like normal meat. Ham's weird, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd much rather have ham.
Turkey is chicken with a different taste. Ham is just a whole different ass meat.
It's pork. It's fatted. It's sweet. It's chewy. It's
That is not how I want my meat.
savory.
Chewy.
You eat ribs. You eat barbecue. Ham
Yes.
is just like not quite barbecue.
It's cold. It's slimy.
Oh, it is
Weird.
slimy. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
like when you get some. I don't know. You probably don't get leftover ham, but so when the ham like slimes have congealed in the bag, and you get that like ham cum that's like just chilling in the bag with it. The fucking ham goo.
Ham glaze.
Yeah. So some freak, some absolute freak who gets in the fridge on the Friday after Thanksgiving and spreads that shit on some toast, man. Just like that's the only part. That's the only part I want.
You're really selling me on
Give me
this.
some of that.
Now I can't wait for some
Give
ham.
me some of that pig jelly.
Yeah. Ew.
Thank you guys for
Ew.
tuning in. Yeah, we'll be back next week, moving into Thanksgiving season, and then it'll be Christmas after that. So get hyped, get pumped. Want to wish you all Baja blessings as we move into the holidays. Just remember, be Baja blessed.
Dude.